Right, now I've just had a bit of a think about this, and I may repeat myself a couple of times from a couple of the last videos, but I feel this is quite important to get down in a certain order, on paper, as it were. After I was wrongfully arrested and illegally detained by Cambridgeshire Police and Marston's enforcement officers, which I fully intend to sue them for. I am working on that now. Because this was to do with non-payment of council tax. But when the court order came through, it was wrong. It had the wrong date of birth on it, and it wasn't signed. So I haven't paid that. They then sent me a letter, the council, this is, saying that I was to attend court, I think it was the 7th of this month or something, to discuss their committal order against me. So I wrote back, and I've read the letter out online. And I said, look, you don't have a fucking committal order. Your court order was wrong. If you wish to do this, you must go back to the beginning and start again. And start with all your illegal summons and warrants and whatever else you sent through, which are never signed by a judge and never validated properly by a court. Because you just print them out yourself. So I've had no answer to that. Now they've had that a couple of weeks. And I offered them in that letter proper court hearing with evidence submitted, etc., 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 like you're supposed to do it, for the 3rd of October, which obviously is rapidly gaining upon us. So no, nothing. And I did state quite clearly, obviously this won't be a problem unless you're running a kangaroo court with bought and paid for judges, or something to that effect. So I believe that's proof that they are running a kangaroo court. Secondly, the police then sent me this postal requisition where I was to attend Cambridgeshire Magistrates Court next month. Unfortunately, I've gone through this online as well. There was no mention of an actual custodial sentence in this. Just all about fines and sentencing in general, which I found strange at the time. And I've made that quite clear that is financial entrapment. And of course, by filling in these documents and signing them and sending them back, you're giving them the right to do whatever the hell they want. And I wrote to the Chief Constable. He received that on Tuesday, I know, because the test mail I sent to a mate of mine was received on Tuesday. And I said, I would like to see, because this is about me harassing this bailiff, you see. Even though I was threatened, I'm not allowed to threaten it. So I wrote to the Chief Constable and I said, I would like to see the statement of complaint, which this bailiff has made. Now that could have been quite easily emailed to me. Because really, apart from a YouTube video, that's the only evidence they have. Nothing. So I come to the conclusion, really, that, well, the police don't obey the law, the council don't obey the law. They think they can enforce any law they want. They think by threatening behaviour under duress, making people act under duress, they can get what they want. And unfortunately, it's not that simple, because every man and woman in this country is entitled to trial by a jury, should they be accused with something. And there's none of this going in front of a magistrate, and there's just you and maybe two other people there, sometimes not even a clerk of the court or whatever, and oh, you've been found guilty. And oh, as it was with me the day I was in court, it was intimated that if I kept on talking, I would be sent to jail anyway. And this is where we're at, really. It's more than evident the Chief Constable of Cambridge Police, Alec Wood, has a personal vendetta against me and would like to see me out of the way, presumably any which way he can. So I have to state at this point I am in fear of my life from the police, and that's quite legitimate. I'm not being overdramatic, I don't think. Because if the Chief Constable's got a vendetta against me, which he does, well, he can tell his officers to do what he likes, can't he? So I have no doubt these people are acting illegally and will continue to attempt to do so. They've all gone quiet for a couple of weeks, so that means usually they're planning their next assault against me, all for exposing criminality amongst their own. But yes, obviously, if you're on Facebook, my Facebook and my Twitter, then you'll know that I'm making updates, even if I'm not making videos on here. So look out for the seagull. And my Twitter account is @PaulDakers1. And Facebook is simply Paul Dakers, obviously. Yeah. I felt this had to be documented. Just think, because you know, obviously, if anything happens to me, you know who's done it, don't you? So, that, I'm afraid, is up to you chaps, then, to gain me some kind of justice in case I am no longer breathing. But with the reach of the channel now and everything else, I'm really hoping that this stuff is starting to get through to these people, but, well, you never know, do you? Anyway, I shall see you all later.